So we're continuing our discussion about the power search feature for embedded reports in the dialog. So now I can go, say, for example, to the last name field and say I'd like all last names that start with A and go all the way through M, for example, and then click on print report, and you can see now I basically have defined additional search criteria. So what you can see over here is that in effect I'm searching this report in much the same way that the search part of a grid component searches a grid, using the full power of the QBF syntax, etc. Furthermore, these controls are standard dialog controls, so they could be defined as drop-down boxes or edit combos or radio buttons, or I could also use sliders or any of the new dialog controls that have been released in other feature packs. So this ability to embed a report in a dialog and then perform power searches on it is very powerful. But one additional feature that's also extremely nice is the ability to define a base filter for the report. So currently right now when I press these buttons over here to execute the report filter, the filter is being applied to the entire report, but I can easily go to my embedded report over there and define a filter. So if I go here now and define a filter, let's go here and say that state is equal to Massachusetts, then this becomes a base filter now, and then the user filter is on top of this base filter. So now I'm going to go over to run the dialog component again now, and if I go there and type in, say, S, I'm going to only see last names that are in Massachusetts. So the base filter is applied in addition to whatever filter the user defines over here, and that's very nice if, for example, you're defining, say, a multi-tenant application where you want to make sure that you're only querying within the current tenant ID. So now let's go back and look at how useful this functionality is in the context of the tabbed UI component. So first let me temporarily go here and remove this base filter because I don't actually want it. And now what I'm going to do is go to my tabbed UI, and you can see here that in this tabbed UI I've basically, what I've done is I've inserted, I've gone to reports and I've chosen to insert this report directly. But what I've done is I've gone and I've said that in this report definition that there is an argument. I've defined an argument called what state, and then I've said that the filter for this report is bill state region equals what state, and then I've said that the what state argument is going to be prompted for at runtime. So this is going to let me define the state that is displayed in the report at runtime, so the user can choose the state, but they can't create an arbitrary filter. Then of course here's, in this case I've got the report here with no filtering at all, so this is going to just print all the records, and then this button over here, instead of printing a report, what it does is actually display this dialog component with the embedded report on it. So this is displaying the dialog component that we've been discussing in the earlier part of this video. So let's go ahead now and run this tabbed UI component. So if I press this button right now, I just get the unfiltered report showing up over there. I'm going to just have to make this window a little bit smaller so that you can see it in the video. So let's close that down. Now if we click this button over here, you can see that we get prompted for the parameter, and I can choose, say, Massachusetts, and then print the report to show all of my Massachusetts customers. But the user is limited to only choosing a state, because that's what the developer exposed to the user. So the user, if for example wants to do a report that finds all customers with the last name of Smith, that's just not doable, because that option wasn't exposed to them by the developer. So now let's look at this next option, but first let's pause and pick this up in the next video.